Coming up on the next episode of the Celsius Pod.
And so she chooses the balloon because you can't eat a balloon. And then, it's a trick question because she's clearly smarter than the test is treating her. I have a machine gun now and let everybody know that he is a person that exists. Here's one thing that I am so confused by, and it has not left my mind since. Whenever the mom has to go do something secret, she goes to her secret place where she pushes a block into the wall and then it's a sliding door. How did you invent that in that time? It's time for the weekly podcast.
Somebody just DM'd me.
Everyone tunes into no matter what.
No one is paying attention. Both people are texting.
Nikola, who DM'd you?
It was somebody from school.
What did they DM you? A nude?
They said club meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Crazy.
It's getting cold over here, guys. It's snowing. It's 27.
It is 28
It
degrees.
is also 27, but not snowing.
It is 28 in Belgrade and not snowing.
But it might snow. It could if you really.
I don't think
really
it's
tried.
It's not.
There's
nothing to make it rain.
Let it snow.
Let it snow. Let it snow. Let it snow.
What are your guys?
The weather outside is rizzy, but the
Christmas movies or songs?
Music.
Christmas music.
Christmas music.
Okay,
Well,
I was sitting with my friends and they had like a bracket tier list of all these different Christmas songs. And somehow they ended up with Silent Night as number one.
Silent Night
That's crazy.
sucked ass. I like Silent Night.
I'm saying either Feliz Navidad or Last Christmas. Feliz Navidad or Last Christmas on my good.
Those are both good, but I don't think either of them are number one. I'm
Really? Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
No,
The
that's
very
definitely wrong.
next day,
I think
gave
maybe
it
Whitley.
away. Beck, you gave it away.
Can't believe you gave
But
it
there's
away.
different types of Christmas
Here you go.
songs. Like there's the religious ones.
I think it's either there's so many classics.
There are so many classics, and that's the problem.
I feel like Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow is so iconic.
But also, which one?
What about
Is
I
also-
saw Mother Kissing Santa Claus?
That's also a good
I
one. What about
never listened to that one.
Whoa, but also Santa Claus is coming to town.
Santa Claus
Better
coming
watch
to town.
out. You better watch out.
There's a lot of good songs. We haven't
There's
really.
so many Christmas songs. Speaking about Christmas songs, what do you guys think about this one YouTuber named Jay Schlatt coming out with an entire Christmas album?
It is a good
I
album.
did see that.
I
I
did.
did
I
listen
have
to
been
it. It
thinking
is-
about dropping the Beck Lions Christmas album.
Yeah.
I just, I need to practice for a bit,
Well, I'm waiting for Bazamus this year.
Bazamus.
I'm waiting for
Bazamus.
this year about to go crazy.
Bazamus,
I've done no work on it. I have finals, but there will be a Bazamus this year.
There better be Bazamus with an entire thing about Balatro.
I would
It
assume
will
there
not
is. It is
be
Beck's
about
game of the year.
Balatro.
No
Beck's game
Balatro
of the
and
year.
Bazamus.
I have an idea for it. I just need to work on it.
Damn. Well,
Nikola,
I
tell
think we
us,
should start getting into.
since you weren't here last week, Nikola, tell us what you did on your week off from the Celsius podcast.
Unlike you guys, for my Thanksgiving break, I actually treated it as a vacation. So
I didn't have a fucking break. I had one day off of school.
that sounds like
You
your
had
issue and not
Gladiator.
mine.
That's vacation, though.
I'm not gonna lie.
It was also
You didn't
not
like
a
staying
day
up till 2 a.m.? Wow.
No,
I'm
that
not
was
gonna
that was
lie.
funny.
This sounds like a you problem.
Okay.
So for my break, I enjoyed some nice relaxation. So my school ended on Friday, and I went from school to the airport. And I got on a plane,
Belgrade, Serbia, baby.
and I flew for 11 hours, not 13. So I made it to London and not Serbia.
Dude, you might
Bro
as well.
didn't
kill
go to
yourself.
Serbia.
I went to London
You might as well have just killed yourself then.
Yeah.
for
at
half a
that
week
point.
until Wednesday. So in London, I was there with my mom. We were touring the city. We were seeing the sights. We were embracing the culture.
Yeah.
We were immersing ourselves with the people.
This
Getting
sounds
stabbed,
boring.
stabbing people.
Yeah,
Stuff like
no.
that.
Did you at least
My
go to the
sister
pub?
has been to
play
London
some
and she gave
football?
very simple instructions. She said, do not go below the river. So we stayed above the river and we did not get
Okay.
stabbed.
That sounds evil.
No.
Not to mention, we
Bro
were
didn't
also
go to
in
the
the very
Undercity?
rich. We were in the very rich areas of London, as in like where the embassies are and where the like big amusement park and all those like super rich areas where the BU housing is. So we were there. We enjoyed the city. I really like London. It's actually a very pretty city. It's really nice. I actually really enjoyed it there. The after that Wednesday, we got on a plane and we flew for like an hour and a half to more east, where my sister is now currently studying abroad, Copenhagen. So Copenhagen, we were there for a couple days. We did about the same stuff we did in London. We went around, we saw everything. I met my sister.
You met her for the first time?
Yeah,
Damn.
because she's just been in Copenhagen her entire life.
Pretty interesting place to meet your sister for the first time.
I know. So basically, I met back up with her. We toured the city. We had fun. It was nice. I actually really enjoyed it. Copenhagen is one of my favorite cities now because everything's very walkable. The culture's
You
nice.
see, guys,
But it's
whenever he
very
goes
nice.
watch a new movie or a new place, it's always his favorite new thing.
This fucking guy, man.
It is
This
though.
fucking
It is
guy.
though.
Is it something about the plane just like makes
No.
you love the movie?
I'm going to say something now. This might be, hard for you guys to comprehend, but I'm not going to watch a movie if I don't think I'm going to like it.
Yeah,
And if I don't like a movie, I'm not going to finish it. I'm going to stop watching it and find a movie I do like.
No
Therefore, I
commitment.
will not review it. And I will
Okay,
not
I
talk
do
about
that
it.
also, Nikola.
This is why I only talk about movies that I say are really good, because I will not watch it unless I think it is really good.
yeah.
Bro would not
Yeah,
watch
makes
Ryan's
sense.
World in the theaters, and
No, I would not watch
Wow.
Ryan Wilson in the theater
Bro-
unless I had 3 people
Bro
to
would have
bring me along.
missed out. Did you guys see? You guys see the posters on Letterboxd?
I did see
And
you
how
sent
did
the
that
photo
happen?
of it.
Someone hacked into Letterboxd.
And somebody
Someone
hacked
did
into
not- they
Letterboxd
did not
just to
hack
do it.
into. No, they patched it. Fuck. It's not a video game. They didn't patch it.
They updated this back end. This
Yeah.
fucking guy. Okay. Anyway, I think we should start getting into what we've been watching.
okay.
And then, actually, no. Before, I have one more kind of funny story from today. So, I, 7th period, last class of the day, I have econ.
Yeah.
With a couple, and I sit with a couple friends. I walk in, sit down with some friends, and one of my friends turns to me, looks me straight in the eyes, and he says, "Babe, don't." And I'm like, what?
No,
this
they
again.
found it.
You're
And I'm
dating
like,
your
why are you
friend.
And I'm like, why are you talking about the movie? And he's like, babe, don't. And I had to turn to my other 2 friends to explain that he was referencing that shitty movie.
It's an awesome
You weren't
movie.
even
Babe,
in that
don't.
movie.
Yeah.
They were just referencing a film Uri made.
Yeah, they just were. Because apparently one of their friends earlier that day in the library showed them that film.
Babe, don't.
Wow.
And they liked
For no
it.
reason.
On Uri's channel or the Celsius channel?
I think it was on the Celsius channel. I mean, they know about the podcast.
We get
they
the
know
views.
They know Boss Fight. They know Poker Night.
It could have been one of the
They
people that
know
were
the
in the
storming of
movie.
September 9.
It could have been, actually.
Yeah.
But I got to explain the lore behind some stuff like the lore behind why Poker Night is the way it is and stuff like that. Also, apparently, is not the video production teacher anymore. He's gone.
Oh, really?
What? He's gone.
He's
apparently.
gone?
I just
We
found
killed him?
out. He's
The
gone.
Wicked Witch is dead.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, he told me Mr. is gone. And I literally turned to him and I said, I used to pray for times like this.
What happened to him?
I don't know. He's just gone. He thought he was just
They
left.
got him. Who's the new video production teacher?
I don't know. I haven't looked. I haven't really been involved with that area of school.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's gone. I gotta explain some of the lore, so I think now we can get into the movie reviews. I
Wait.
have.
I do
So,
have
yeah.
one thing.
Let's start with him.
How's everyone's Secret Santa going?
Secret
Oh,
Santa.
dude, I am cooking. You know what you said? The wallet is your world size, and I took that.
No, what I said.
I said this is not the right quote. That's just wrong.
I said, no, your world is your wallet size.
I prefer the other way.
The other way doesn't make sense. Hurry, put the
But
quote on screen.
I will be spending a lot of money on mine.
I have already spent over $80.
Okay, so then I did not spend
Just
that much because I only spent
whoever,
I'm getting
whoever I
more.
have, you're gonna need another bookshelf. You know, there's a lot coming.
another bookshelf.
I think I'm probably spending like maybe $40 probably.
I waited even for Cyber Monday to get mine.
Nice.
So mine was only $75.
They had the Batman food container on sale this time.
Yeah, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. They actually got it on Black Friday, not Cyber Monday. It's to be absolutely correct. I bought it Friday night.
I hope you got me a really cool thing.
Yeah, I hope you got me that jacket.
I don't have you.
He has me, and he just cannot admit it.
You
just
were
doesn't
like,
wanna
hey,
admit
can I
it.
get this jacket? You only sent it to one person.
Yeah, because he's my Secret Santa.
He's not getting that fucking jacket.
He's my Secret Santa. He's
wait.
gonna get me that jacket. He said he spent $80. That's the price of the jacket.
The jacket was 60.
You spent 80. Oh, I have to go.
Yeah, he also said you're getting more stuff, so clearly you're getting
I
the
need to
jacket
go
and a race car.
$100.
And the
I need to
what?
drop a band
And the
on.
actual
I'm
race car.
getting
I'm getting
everybody
the car.
Megalopolis DVDs.
That's
Hell
my
yeah.
list.
So
Horizon Director's Cut. This
I
time it's
famously
4
been
hours.
extremely good at giving gifts. You know, I got Uri the first year, and I got him that metal poster of that show he loves, and he loved it.
It was a license plate.
yeah.
And the license plate.
No, it was like an actual metal poster. I then next year took it a step further, and I got Beck Lyons, his favorite show, his favorite movie of all time, his favorite character, the Lego Batman food container.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went on, and then I fixed his computer for him.
Yeah.
But that,
And then now this year, I went above and beyond, and I actually spent money.
No way.
You spent
And I think, you know what? Let me give you a hint about my person. My person likes films.
Oh,
No, they like film. In fact, they even
Guys,
make films.
I think his person might be a film major. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this person is a film major. This person is on the Celsius podcast, and they make films.
No way.
What's strange to me is
That's all I'm gonna say.
see what the thing is, statistically, I have everybody who could, based on statistics.
Yeah, no.
Because Beck has got me twice in a row, so he's going to give me a third time.
Yeah.
Uri
Third time's the charm, as they say.
had everyone other than me, and so has Nikola. So statistically, everyone should all have me. I think a lot of
Aiden,
Yeah, that is how it works.
Aiden will probably have Beck again. That's just in the cards.
All I will say, no, but Aiden has me.
I don't have
He really does, and he just cannot admit it.
My person.
So what I will
have
say
myself?
though is that my gift, I really hope it will be used.
You got
It's
to
a condom.
guys. Like you're giving it to them used?
No, as in like I hope they will use it for the podcast.
I'm very scared.
He's
getting
for
us
the
a mic.
podcast.
He's just giving someone a mic.
It's not a
He's
microphone.
just giving
Anyway,
Aiden a better microphone.
moving
being
on.
like, bro,
Again,
it's
Aiden
cracking
is
out
not my
too
person.
much.
Aiden is my person. As in like he's giving me gifts.
I'm not giving you gifts. Stop pushing this agenda. You're gonna be
I
so
don't know.
disappointed that you're not getting the fucking jacket.
I disagree.
My person has the letter K or A in their name.
Beckett Leones.
Wait.
Christic.
You're doing
we
way
all-
too much math on
Yeah,
this.
man,
Dave.
this is just
There's
stop.
no A in my name.
There is a
There
Beckett
is a K.
Lions.
There is a K. But
Yeah, he did say A or K. He didn't say A and K.
That means Uri doesn't have himself though, so we can rule that out.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have ourselves. I don't think it's possible.
I have myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have me.
No.
It's
Okay,
the
let's get
agenda.
into what we're watching.
All right, let's move on.
Let's get
So-
Nikola, do you wanna lead today?
I
Because
have quite a bit to talk about.
you have a lot of things that you can talk about because you went on a plane and watched a bunch of stuff on the plane.
So,
Did you
playing
actually
4
watch 4
shows.
films on a plane?
Yes, it was a 13-hour
It was a
flight.
13-hour flight.
It's a long ass flight.
Actually, 11 hours to be precise.
I got like
I
20
can't-
minutes into like Goodfellas on a 6-hour plane
Because
ride.
I couldn't sleep because I needed to adjust to our time.
I
Because the
can't-
issue is the plane basically left right when it was like 7:30 back home, like here. And that's like the time I had to wake up today. So I'm like, oh, I can already get adjusted if I just stay awake the entire plane time. So then I had to do that. So I'm like, okay, I got to watch movies and films.
I cannot
So-
watch movies on planes anymore. I just can't. Like my mind.
yeah, it's broken for me.
I can't do it.
I can't fall asleep on planes really.
I can do that.
I have to watch stuff or read. I read Stone Ocean on a plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for shows though, I want to start with shows so I don't forget them. Because for Letterboxd, I can easily go through my reviews for those.
True.
They need a
For
letterbox
shows.
for TV shows.
They need a letterbox
think-
for music.
The only 2 shows I've watched, no. So we're not talking about Arcane because I haven't finished it yet. I don't think we're talking about it
Can we
anyway.
please?
if we
I
did.
watched it again. I've seen season 2 twice now.
Beck,
I still
know
can't
everything
talk
about
about
it.
it.
Beck, at this point, it's not going to be relevant at all. Arcane by the time we talk about it.
Yeah.
I still want to talk about.
We're
Yeah,
going to talk about it just next
We're gonna
week.
talk about it. Just
When
next
it's,
We
week.
had
when it's
3
irrelevant,
weeks.
when it's irrelevant to talk about, it's what we're going to talk
Precisely.
about.
But I actually didn't watch Dune Messiah yesterday, so I only have the first 2 episodes of Dune Messiah to talk about.
It's not Dune Messiah, it's Dune
No
Prophecy.
one is talking about
Dune
Dune. Messiah.
Prophecy. Sorry, Dune Messiah is the next movie.
Yeah, I'm hearing no talking about Dune Prophecy though. No one's. I'm hearing it like.
No, I haven't
Nobody
heard
is
anything
talking
about
about
it. It's
the
not.
show.
I mean, I'll talk about it. So there's 3 episodes. 1 episode came out yesterday. I've only watched 2 so far. I can't really remember what happened in them. So that tells you a lot. Basically, this show is basically it's not the worst. There's been worse.
Yeah, no, it feels like such a drop in quality.
but
Like
it's
we got
not-
we got like such a great show with like The Penguin for HBO, but then like we're hearing
Yeah.
that just Dune Prophecy, which
And now we have Dune Prophecy, and it's like it's not even in the same. It doesn't even feel like it's the same universe as the Dune movies. Like it's I mean like it's the same world. They have the same technology. There's the same stuff, but it's like the budget is so much lower. The storylines are just like less interesting. There's just less impact overall, and everything's just kind of more boring. It's not a bad show at all. I am enjoying watching it, but it's like it's not as good as it could be.
yeah. But is it like
So-
what does the story follow though? What is it like what?
So basically, what do you guys know about the Bene Gesserit?
They're women.
Yeah.
They're women, and they're basically like warrior witch nuns.
Except for Paul Dare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They do
are
really like Paul
like
Dane.
like controlling the universe from the shadows. And this show is basically answering the questions of how were these people able to become so powerful? So it takes place
kings and queens.
like 10 or 15,000 years, no, 10,000 years before the events of Dune.
I mean, I don't know, because like when I think of like Dune, I don't think like the Bene Gesserit are the most exciting part of Dune. When I think of like hearing the Dune lore, that's not
Yeah.
really a thing I want.
I mean, like they're
on.
definitely a very interesting part of like the universe, but yeah, they're not like a really vital.
I want.
Wait,
I
does it even
want. I want.
take place on Arrakis?
Dune Prophecy does not take place on
I want like
Arrakis.
a show about like the Fremen or something like that. That seems like
Yeah.
a cooler concept for a show.
Like those type of cultures, like the cultures of the people on this earth.
Yeah.
And like it's just like it's kind of weird. The characters aren't very charismatic. And overall, I mean, the story is getting more interesting now as the plot thickens And I like the guy that got worm powers because he got eaten by a worm. And that's about it. So I think we're not talking about Arcane. So the last things I watched on the plane for my last 60 minutes, I was like, okay, I have to watch one thing. There's no movies that are this short, but they have TV shows. So I rewatched the first episode of the second season of White Lotus.
Good. Wait, the second season?
Seeing that
Yeah.
episode.
It's a
First episode of the second
You should
season.
have watched the full season since it was a pretty good season.
I know, I've watched it before.
Yeah.
This is just a rewatch.
Yeah. We watched
And
the
what it
second-
has
I need to
reminded
finish
me
that season.
is that Aubrey Plaza's character is a complete buzzkill.
Well, yeah, I think that's
Literally, the plot of the first episode, for that group of people, let me give you a rundown of Aubrey Plaza's character arc for that episode. So, basically, she shows up on vacation, is a complete buzzkill. So, every single time they're like, "Oh, you know what? I think I'll get white wine." She's like, "I want red wine." She's he's like, "I think I want her boyfriend, fiance is like, I think I want to try the white fish." And she's like, "No, that's too fishy." And then every single time and the people are like, "Oh, and the friends they're with, they're like, "Oh, we just relax. We don't really we just just go to sleep and we just have fun." And she's like, "Well, how can you sleep at night? The world is ending." And I'm like, "Bro, it's not that deep. You're on vacation. Go have some fun." And then after that, he sees because her boyfriend, I forgot. I'll just say boyfriend. Friend is the husband of the other girl that's there. It's the 4 people. He and the boyfriend and the husband are the same size. So the husband goes to get the boyfriend's swimsuit and changes behind Aubrey Plaza's character. Aubrey Plaza then sees that the husband has a massive penis and now she wants to fuck him. And that's the entire character arc. And then I remember what happens is that basically in the season they do fuck. And then
we don't really know if they fuck, but it's
pretty clear
I
that they
know.
fucked.
It's implied.
I know. I was in the room where it happened.
implied fucking is the best fucking.
I'm in the room where it happened. Okay, so that's White Lotus. I watched the first episode. It's a good show. Maybe I'll rewatch the rest of the season. I don't know if I have time for that, but I might. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. No
So
way.
I think I can start talking about the movies I've been watching.
And
You did watch a lot of movies.
Here's the thing, though. I do want to say before you start, Nikola, you watched 3 of my favorite movies, and you gave them all the same rating.
Yeah, I noticed you commented the same thing on all of them as well.
Yeah. So
God, you
So
did.
I first started on the way to London. I watched 3 movies, and I started with The Fall Guy because I've been slowly trying to watch all the Ryan Gosling movies.
Makes sense.
So I
Also,
decided
I've been
to
trying
finally
do that,
watch
but I gave a
Fall Guy because it's on the it was
Plane.
on the plane. So I enjoyed this movie. I think it was a really fun movie. It was good. I gave it 3.5 stars because I think it's not an amazing movie. It's a good movie though. It's above average.
I think it's the best 7 out of 10 movie that came out this year, which is just a
Yeah.
fun action
Yeah.
movie.
I really enjoyed watching it. There was pretty much everything was done good. There was no big issues with writing or cinematography where they would do something janky or there was some weird editing style. It was all done pretty well. The story is interesting. It's just a fun thing to watch, and I enjoyed watching it. So, new personality was unlocked.
Wow.
Next thing I saw is that there was a certain person on this podcast. One of their favorite movies was on the plane.
Was it
And I was
Whiplash?
like, it was not Whiplash.
Was it Roger Rabbit?
It was not Roger Rabbit. So I was like, you know what? I already had to do a shot-by-shot presentation on this film in film comp. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta actually watch this film. So I watched Rear Window.
You haven't seen Rear Window before?
No, I actually haven't watched a lot of the Hitchcock films, I realize. I do know I watched The Birds, actually. Fun fact. I watched The Birds when I was a kid. Then I drove up with my family to Bodega Bay.
And killed the
and I
bird.
actually met the woman. Like the woman that's the star. I met her and we got signed posters.
That's cool.
But she was really old.
Wow.
Because, it's an old movie.
True.
Anyway, Rear Window. Watching on the plane, and I was like watching it, I'm like, damn, I kind of already know the plot because I did the shot-by-shot presentation, but like, it's still a fun movie to watch.
You did a shot-by-shot presentation without watching the movie?
No, I only watched one scene.
Oh.
And then I got to that scene, I'm like, oh my God, this is where it happens.
Let me analyze.
The room where it happens.
Let me analyze this. I know exactly what happens in this scene. I've watched it 500 times frame by frame.
What scene was it?
It was the scene where, what's her name? The girlfriend goes and gets the jewelry and then gets assaulted by Thorwald.
Yeah. Like one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah. So it's a good movie. I like the funny thing that like on the beginning, we see the newlyweds arrive and then they start fucking, they close the blinds and then the movie ends with them finally opening the blinds. And there's a couple times throughout where it's like the guy goes out to smoke and he's like clearly exhausted and then the girl pulls him back inside.
Very
So
good.
they're just screwing the entire movie.
Did you know
nonstop?
Did you know the piano player is the guy that invented Alvin and the Chipmunks?
No, I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, it's a Hitchcock film. It's a good film. Nothing really wrong with it. I enjoyed it. I mean, but it's a 3.5 star film. It's good. It's not super. It's not amazing. It's not mid. It's like above mid.
Is it a 5 for you?
It's a 5 for me, but I accept that. I accept his rating.
What did that give it?
I gave it 3.5, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, same as Nikola.
Yes, Beck did give it, in fact.
I've had to see it so many times now. I'm just like, I'm kind of sick of it.
Yeah, but it's good.
Okay. And then I was like, you know what? I need a long movie that I can finally add to my letterbox. So I watched Dune 2. Rewatched it.
Yeah.
So I watched it.
It was already added to your letterbox.
No,
No,
it
it
wasn't.
wasn't. He didn't make his
Wasn't.
letterbox.
Oh, you didn't have an account?
No.
Wow.
So I finally watched it and I finally added it to my letterbox. And lo and behold, it was 5 stars.
I can't believe it.
So yeah, I mean, I think I've talked about it enough, so I'm not going to talk about it. Next, on the way back, I watched The Grand Budapest Hotel.
I haven't
By
seen that
Wes
movie.
Anderson.
I've always wanted to watch it. It's good, right?
It's a Wes Anderson film, so he has his very unique style, and I really like his style. I actually watched this because, again, in film comp, we had to watch a scene from this film, and I'm like, oh, that looks good. And I was like, oh, they have it. I'm going to actually watch it.
I've seen so little Wes Anderson stuff.
Yeah.
I need to watch.
But I mean, it's good. The film was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's like it's a good Wes Anderson film. I would say out of the ones I've seen, this is one of his best ones.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I think you guys should watch it. It's actually really fun to watch. Next would be Die Hard. I was starting to get into Christmas mood. So I watched Die Hard.
Now it's time to defend. Now I'm on the defense.
Not that you were a Die Hard fan.
I didn't.
Are you
know
a Christmas
he was
defender?
such a Die Hard fan.
Die Hard is one of the Christmas movies in our house.
You have to understand,
Beck,
what I said is, I watched this film. I'm like,
I've
this
tried
is a
watching
good
it.
film,
I
but
didn't
this
think it was
isn't
that good.
above
I didn't finish
3.5
it.
stars.
I thought it was a really good film from what I remember.
Really good film, but it's not above 3.5 stars.
Are you waiting?
Nikola, set up the fact that he's barefoot the whole time. They write that in. They need him to be barefoot. They say, how are we going to get him barefoot? And we have the guy on the plane tell him to take his shoes off. It's that easy.
It's so stupid. I mean, it works and it's funny as hell, but it's so stupid.
Are you saying you don't like Hans Gruber and his plan to take over Nakatomi Plaza?
It's such a stupid plan, but yes, I agree. It's badass as hell.
Dude, he's on like John. Wasn't John Wayne? What's his name?
John
McClane.
John McClane's there. John McClane.
What are your favorite movies?
He's so funny. He had no reason to do everything that he just took a guy and okay, he does really funny things. He's like, what if I took a guy and wrote ho 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 on him? I have a shotgun now, or
I have a machine gun now.
I have a machine gun now, and let everybody know that he is a person that exists. Because before then, they didn't
Why
know.
you did that? It's kind of stupid. Also, there's absolutely no way that some passerby on the street did not hear the guns. Guns are not that quiet. Like the entire shootout on the roof, or even inside, would be able to hear, not even just walking next to the building, walking like a block over.
Yeah.
Is what I thought. And then I came home and I started hearing fireworks. And I'm like, you know what? Those could have been gunshots and I wouldn't know. And those could have and I thought they were fireworks. So maybe it is Christmas. So maybe people did just think it was fireworks. So that part actually is believable now.
I think Die Hard 2 is a better movie, though.
It is a really good movie.
Die
and
Hard
it's such
again?
an iconic movie. And I agree. It is a really good movie. I watched it and I'm like, this isn't above. It's a high 3.5 stars, but it's not above 3.5 stars.
You should have watched Die Hard 2 on the plane.
I don't think they had Die Hard 2, unfortunately.
Because Die Hard
On the way
2 is just,
Yeah, on the way to Europe, I was flying British Airlines, so I had a wide selection of movies and film. On the way back, I was flying SAS Airlines. They had like 15 movies to watch.
Dune 2.
It wasn't. It was like 50 movies, but still, there was like only 15 movies worth watching.
I think Die Hard 2 is really good. It's Hans Gruber's brother is the main villain, and it's Die Hard. It's a plane.
It's an airport, right?
It's an airport, which is a much more interesting area than.
But guys, what if it was in a mall on Black Friday and the only guy there was a security guard?
Is that
like Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No, it's Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Wait, but what if it was in a sci-fi arcade and the grandpa and the son were like inside a machine and the daughter or the granddaughter had to go and do a Die Hard.
Oh, is that Rick and Morty?
That is Rick and
Die
Morty.
Hard.
Okay, so I'm going to keep the Christmas mood and I'm going to talk about Home Alone.
All right. This is where I'm putting on I'm putting on the big boy.
No. I do got to say.
He had it ready.
This is not like it's the first time I've watched this film. I've watched this film many times before, but I watched it as a kid. And I've watched it a couple times after that, but not that many times. This is like the first time I've really sat down and rewatched it. And rewatching it, I'm like, this is a good film. It's really funny. It's a high 3.5 stars. It's not above 3.5 stars.
Again, the second movie is better. This is another situation.
Yeah, but what about Home Alone 3? Because it's down the hall and to the left.
No, it's Home Alone 2.
That is Home Alone 2.
That is Home Alone
okay,
2.
I was wrong. Lost in New York.
No, don't ever talk about the other Home Alones. Those ones are ass.
What about the brand new remake where it's just some random kid and he's just beating the shit out of
The
dude?
rest of the movies are random kids.
Yeah.
The first two movies are the only one with Kevin and Harry and Marv. And those are peak. 2 is way better because it's like, instead of house, New York City. And that's infinitely funnier. And the death traps you make are infinitely more deadly.
I think everybody as a kid growing up were like on Kevin's side. They were like, why is his family so mean to him? Well, he's just a kid. He's just like us. And he is like, oh my God, he's having fun at home. And oh my God, those traps are amazing. Then we can now understand growing up that Kevin is a little shit.
Yeah, obviously. That's why it's great, because he's the worst person ever.
Kevin is horrible. Kevin wants blood. Kevin is the Antichrist, and he is trying to cause as much pain and suffering to those around him as possible. He makes his entire family's lives living hell. He attempts to murder 2 people, albeit they did try to break into his house. But this is New York. Oh no, he's in Chicago. I do not believe Illinois has a stand your ground law. And even then, he did not use a firearm.
Oh, you can use booby traps and stand your
I
ground.
don't know. I think that's cruel and unusual punishment at that point.
I don't think so. That's a Home
So,
Alone
I mean, what's
quote.
going to stop this? The Constitution?
Yeah. The U.S. government, by definition, cannot torture people. So therefore, anybody that is done that is not torture.
But come on, Nikola. He could have called the police the entire time. There was
They called the police
needed-
at the very
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, he could have
After
done it at the
assaulting them.
beginning. He could have done it at the beginning. He knew that they were coming.
Yeah. He just had to wait until he could beat the shit out of them.
Exactly.
And he
But
could
it
just
is
kill
really
them.
funny.
Yeah. Now, the final movie I watched on the plane is one that I really hope it's another 5-star film. And there's a reason this one is 5 stars. It's because it's a really good movie. And I really hope.
White chicks.
Okay. I will preface this. This Interstellar is not in my top 5. It's not in my top 6. I have not done my rating yet because I can't figure out how to do it on Letterboxd. So until I figure out how to do that, I will not be ranking movies.
We can show you. Don't worry. We'll figure it out
so
together.
easy, Nikola.
I was like, this is a good movie. I was kind of on the fence of watching this on a plane, but I think Christopher Nolan intended for us to watch this on a plane on a tiny ass monitor in front of us. Truly the way it was meant to be.
Is cinema.
And now that's being re-released in theaters this December, we have to go see it. There's no way we can't see it.
We're going to drive all the way to San Francisco.
I
to
will
the Metro
drive all of us to
and
San
watch
Francisco if I have to.
Interstellar in IMAX.
I swear to God, I will actually do that. I need to watch Interstellar in IMAX. Like, I need to. But anyway, it's a really good film. There's a reason. It's a Christopher Nolan film. He makes really good films. The film is amazing. I love the world. I love the story. I love everything about this film. I don't know what the number is. Maybe when I start doing my ranking on Letterboxd, I can figure out where it goes. But I know it's not my top 6. It's below that.
I thought Interstellar was boring.
Yeah, you clearly did not understand the message. I started crying next to the person next to me. I don't know why. That shit it's just like, I've seen it before, but it's still sad because, his daughter.
Where did it go in your favorite Nolan movies?
I haven't watched that many Nolan films. Let's see. Christopher Nolan. What films has Christopher Nolan made?
The Dark Knight trilogy.
No,
Oppenheimer.
I've watched. Oh yeah, the Sloppenheimer. Let's see. I've watched Interstellar. I've watched Oppenheimer. I've watched The Dark Knight. I've watched Tenet. I've watched Dunkirk. Dark Knight is just one of his best films. I would say Dark Knight is probably his best film.
But have you seen Following?
No. So then after The Dark Knight comes, I would say then comes Interstellar. Then Oppenheimer.
If only there was some kind of feature on
Dunkirk.
Letterboxd that allowed you to rank movies.
Tenet. My issue is Tenet. I really like Tenet. Tenet's a great movie.
I like
it's
Tenet.
just too convoluted.
It's too convoluted.
Way too convoluted.
It's very visually entertaining.
I've watched it like 20 times and I still don't understand what the fuck happened. Like, I understand the timeline, but I don't understand the timeline. But anyway,
Okay.
that's why it's just in the bottom for me. But other than that, he makes good movies, and I like Interstellar. It's a really good movie. We are watching it in IMAX, whether you guys like it or not.
Hey,
So
my
that's
turn.
everything I've watched. So now we can finally move on.
Okay, first thing I want to talk about. I
First
finished
things first.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
No, you
All
didn't.
of it,
No
or you
more
just
I
finished
have
part
to
3?
watch.
No, you finished part 3. Stop lying.
You know, they always say the best things come in 3 parts. So it's
So
done.
you finished part 3. Last time you were before the Darby fight, the second one.
Yeah.
So run us through the end of Stardust Crusaders, because that's some of the
So,
most peak Stardust
They
Crusaders.
fight Darby and then
Wait, back. First question. What do you think of now that you've seen Part 3. What do you think of the intro revealing all of the deaths and stuff?
I skip the intro every time.
You fucking suck ass.
I
Okay.
skip the intro every time except for the last one. And I watch, I'm like, wait, is this literally just spoiling the entire thing?
No, they only do that in the last one. They changed the intros per episode.
Oh.
Holy crap.
That's
This guy sucks at
cool.
watching
They've been
movies.
doing it since the first season. The last outros always have the have the sound effects also.
Oh yeah, I did notice that. Okay, but they go and they fight a stand user, and then they go and they fight another stand user. Guys, you will not believe it.
So you
but
did miss
two
some
of them die.
Well, you missed. They don't die to tenor sax. They die after the third stand battle.
They
Come
die
on,
to
man.
Vanilla Ice. Yeah.
Which ones? Which two?
Avdol and Iggy.
And now, were you heartbroken that your favorite character Avdol died and then came back and then died again?
I was quite literally just being like, okay, he's just coming back. And then I was like, wait, they're actually coming this time? Okay, cool. Did not care.
But you don't even care that it wasn't even an emotional death. It just happened, and they
It
had
just
no
happened.
time. Yeah, isn't that
they wanted
interesting
to
how-
kill that guy.
They didn't want to
They
kill
wanted
that
to kill
guy.
him quickly.
Rocky didn't want to kill that guy.
And then Iggy dies, and then Polnareff is like basically almost killed, but he's like, I'm gonna still fight. And then they fight Dio, and Kakyoin dies, and then Joseph Joestar dies, and then Polnareff is almost killed, but then Jotaro kills Dio.
So you did skip a lot of really awesome things, I've noticed.
Okay, yeah, but do you want me to describe just them fighting for 4 episodes?
Well,
The fight
okay.
is fucking awesome,
It's
man.
so cool, though.
It is
It's
a
like one
cool
of the best
fight.
fights ever made.
I feel like the ending was a bit anticlimactic for me.
And
Because I
what-
feel
how?
like you
What?
have
In what-
48 episodes in
In
this
what
season.
way is it anticlimactic?
Yeah.
And the final battle only takes 4 episodes. I wanted at least like 8 or something.
Bro is filler pilled, okay?
This guy's fucking.
there's
This is
too
an
much
average My
filler
Hero
in this
Academia
episode.
fan.
Yeah,
Average
honestly.
My Hero Academia fan.
Yeah, and guess what? There's like no filler in that, and it's good. And the final battle takes place
Not
over like
good, it's
40
ass.
episodes.
It's
It
ass.
actually like
means
feels
that's-
so impactful.
The final battle takes place over 40 episodes. Oh my god.
Yeah,
this
no,
guy-
they have to. They
This guy
literally.
fucking sucks.
Season 7 is like 20 episodes long. The final battle starts in episode 6, goes to episode 20, and then that's the end of the season. We have to wait another year to see the second
Actually,
half of the final battle.
I will say.
that sounds so ass.
I will
I
say.
know it's a terrible release
final,
schedule.
like,
That's what I love about
JJK.
Hunter
No,
x
not the
Hunter
release
also.
schedule. Not the release schedule. The fact that the final battle lasts upwards of 4 hours.
No, I
Or
like
more.
it when final battles take like 6 hours
When
in
they're
anime.
drawn out.
I
as
love
shit.
that. No,
Well,
because it
then,
doesn't.
guys,
It's not
if you
drawn
love
out.
drawn out battles and super long ending fights, you would love the ending of JJK. Because
Like,
the
you would-
entire final arc is just them fighting Sukuna.
I mean, that's what I expect. But like, I feel like, especially, I love it in Hunter x Hunter. I love it in My Hero Academia.
I'm
It
not
just feels
kidding,
like
but I'm not even kidding.
It feels
It
like
is like
everything's coming together, and then you feel so invested in it. I really like long finales in anime.
Then
Like, you could make that
like
shit 6 hours.
you might like part 4 more then because the whole thing is a murder mystery.
And now
So that might be better for you. But come on, you can't say that the 4 episodes that they are fighting Dio aren't like some of the hottest
No,
shit.
they're great. I'm saying I wish it was longer. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm saying I
does
wish it
not
was
need to be-
longer.
It does not need to be longer. You
But
are
basically-
insane. That's an insane take.
Let me explain this to you, Beck Lions. The final fight of, what's it called? The final fight of JJK is 50 chapters long. And it consists of them pulling up to fight Sukuna not beating him because Sukuna pulls out some shit out of his ass.
He pulls out Jacob's ladder. I know
Literally,
that's a thing. I have
he
no
just
idea
decides
what
to
it
climb
is.
the ladder, or he decides, you know what? No, I don't want to die. And then that's basically the entire. That's like the loop is basically new person gets introduced. They fight him. They do a tiny bit of damage, and then Sukuna just brushes it off. And it was that loop for 50 chapters until they got tired and ended the manga. So you'll love that when it gets animated. And it gets dubbed.
Beck, you should watch Dragon Ball Z.
I should watch
because
Dragon Ball.
Ball Z
Dragon Ball.
has multiple episodes that apparently take place over 4 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's
no.
my favorite part.
I'm
I
gonna
think
send you this. It's the Hunter x Hunter attack of like the Chimera arc, and it takes place in real time, and it's 4 minutes long, and it covers like 12 episodes. It's so cool.
That's so stupid.
It's like so much is this like a narration of them being like, we have to do this plan, we have to do this plan.
What people realize is that narration has to be in real time, but everything else can be as fast as possible to allow it to fit into 4 minutes, and that's how you make it real time.
Which means then filler mode activate.
I don't
Anyway,
think it's filler.
I think Eri is passing out, so
yeah,
I think
Beck,
we should
what do you
start
say?
going.
What's great if we can move on to another anime.
No, wait,
Awesome.
Beck, I have one more comment for you.
Yeah.
Why did you tell me that the world noise hurts your ears and is bad?
Bro,
You can't tell
I'm
me
trying
that
to
the
watch this at like 2 a.m. while I'm jet lagged on like my tiny like half broken earphone. It just goes, I don't want to even get picked up on my mic, and I don't want to be screaming that in the middle of the hallway.
You guys are wrong. I'm actually enjoying you guys laugh at Beck for being annoying. It's
so annoying.
yeah.
I can't bet. Come on. You have to say that when Jotaro said it's high noon, and then
He
killed
did
him.
say that. I liked that.
He only says that in the dub. Do you want to know why he says that?
Why?
Because the voice actor for Jotaro is the same guy that voices Overwatch, who also says it's high noon.
I know he says it's high noon.
Okay, but I think him saying you pissed me off is way cooler than it's high noon.
Okay, next anime I watched Dandadan. And
Yippee.
Aiden, you're caught up on Dandadan also, which is great.
No?
Okay.
He's talking about Dandadan.
So I
Incorrect.
watched Dandadan, and I'll say it was good. It was fire. I can't wait to watch it week by week.
Beck, I don't think you can count it as you watching the movie though.
Why not?
He didn't watch the movie.
Yeah.
Bro, you cannot say that.
You watched the first 3 episodes. You didn't watch the movie. The movie had like the behind of the writing and stuff.
That doesn't count, bro.
You don't count.
I just need to log in on Letterboxd, bro.
I don't think it counts, Beck. I don't
Okay,
think
well-
it counts.
Well, okay. So, Dandadan, fire. I have no idea how they made the animation this good. It's crazy. The animation is so smooth. It's really funny. Cool characters.
Better than Arcane?
No, it is
Yes.
not better than Arcane. It is very weird though how they keep stealing his balls and penis.
He needs
That
to.
very weird plot point. Okay. Next thing I watched, I want to talk about this. Pantheon. I started talking about it last week. And it's definitely in like the Scavenger's Reign camp of like a very like unknown animated show that's insanely peak. And so I finished it and it ended on a cliffhanger. And I'm like, I know this story before. It got canceled and now I will never know the ending and I'm sad.
It got canceled after Netflix bought it from
No,
average
just
Netflix
hear
moment.
me out. I Google Pantheon season 2. It exists. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's like midnight. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go binge. I want to binge Pantheon season 2. I go and I buy a month of AMC Plus. Because every time when it opens on Netflix, it says AMC Plus Original. And on the title thing, it says AMC Plus Original. So I go and I buy AMC Plus, and it's not on AMC Plus.
I feel like you
So
should
I
expect that
wasted
first.
$9.
Yeah, and this is
No, because hear me out. It is released only on Blu-ray and only in Australia.
So guys, whoever has bet for Secret Santa, you know what to get him.
Please give me the DVD copy of season 2 of Pantheon from Australia. Because now I just gotta pirate it, and that's gonna be annoying. But I do want to finish the show. So I'm gonna watch season 2.
Somehow.
Okay, movies time.
Do you have solo movies back?
I do have solo movies.
Which ones do you have?
Guys, I have no solo movies.
Hurry, do you have any solo movies?
I do have a solo movie. I watched The Wizards of Waverly Place, the movie.
I've not seen any Wizards of Waverly Place.
Really?
Neither have I. Nizzle, you've watched Wizards.
I have watched it, but I was really young, so I don't really remember it as much.
Guys, this is the peak, because like there's an era where each of these Disney Channel shows, they would get their own movies. Good Luck Charlie, the movie, that's a great Christmas watch to watch around
It's
Christmas.
a good Christmas watch. Because that one actually is important to the plot of the show.
Yeah.
But if only there was a New Year's special.
Yeah, I need to find a bunch of episodes
it's
and
kind of-
loosely connect them.
It's kind of New Year's. They do New Year's in they do say Happy New Year in the movie.
They also say Happy New Year in High School.
They do.
Yeah.
But no, it's a pretty solid like movie. Like rewatching it, like a movie, I'd probably rewatch it a lot as a child. But like I thought it was like such a good movie. But then watching it is like there's a lot of contrivances in the plot, and like it's really interesting when you watch a movie from a childhood and watch it again. Like you realize how kind of shitty some of the things, the direction was of the movie. You know, rewatching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was kind of weird rewatching it. So like I think I gotta rewatch Lemonade Mouth because I wonder if it's as good as I remember.
I rewatched it like 4
Lemonade
years ago,
Mouth
but I
is
don't remember.
not that bad, but it's also kind of stupid because, I'm Lemonade Mouth.
That's Radio Rebel.
It
No, I'm
really
Lady-
does
I'm
feel like
Lemon
it's trying to
Mouth.
be so edgy and counterculture, and it's a Disney Channel original movie.
Her
Yeah.
father, the main character's father, is in prison.
Yeah, no, guys, it's dark. He's in prison.
I watched this movie because I kept thinking of like HBO Max, but so I downloaded it. It's like
Max?
Max, okay, God.
Why? No, but like, why is it on Max?
No, not Lemonade now. I'm a different movie now.
Oh, okay. I thought we were still talking about.
No, it's this movie called Demolition about it's one of the Jake Gyllenhaal movies where it's like he's done a lot of just like character study focused movies basically just on him. I think the peak of those sort of eras is Nightcrawler, very good movie. This movie is called Demolition. Essentially, it follows a really interesting structure where he's sort of like this Wall Street kind of like trader, I guess, for a company. And then the first scene of the movie is like he's in the car with his wife, and they get into a car crash and his wife is dead. And the father of the wife is like the guy who owns the company that he works at. So he's like, and then so this movie's sort of about the idea of grief and how he interacts with grief. Because then he's all like, you know what? I'm realizing that I never really loved my wife. And like, he's like, and then he starts just going like kind of crazy with sort of grief where he's all like, he like at the hospital, he's like, his wife just died, and then he's like, he gets away from the vending machine, but the vending machine thing doesn't like drop his food. He's like, he goes up to like the secretary. He's like, okay, can you give me my food till we open the thing up? It's like, that's not us. It's the company who does that. And then he writes like a letter to the company, but he spills like so much like personal details. Like he's like, My
My
wife,
wife
just
died. Give me my bag of chips.
No, my wife has just died, just for context. And this is why I was at the hospital and blah, blah, blah. And he just keeps writing these letters. And then he gets a call from like the company and they're like, someone's like, are you good? Do you need someone to talk to? And then he starts like sort of a relationship with the woman because like she's the only one in customer service for the company. Is like, and then they sort of start like a thing back and forth where he sends her letters. And it's a pretty fun movie because then he starts hanging out with her child, and like he sort of becomes like a father figure with her, a father figure to the child, and like he starts just fucking destroying his house. Like he's like essentially because he says, I'm destroying my marriage. What was left of my marriage? And so this movie is the idea of like how you sort of like get destroyed after grief, and you have to build back up, I guess, in a completely new way. Because he's like, the whole theme of the movie is like him. He just like, he hears something from like the father, you really got to see what's inside to like open it. So this whole movie is basically just him breaking apart shit to like, I want to see what's inside of that. So he opens like a clock open. He like breaks bathroom stall doors. He just fucking destroys his house. It's insane how much he just destroys his house. And it's a really interesting sort of, I guess, character study. The movie's sort of like a narration. A lot of narration is from this movie, which I don't love in a lot of movies, but this movie worked really well since it's sort of central to the plot. And it was a really interesting movie that I don't think it fully gets like a full 4 for me, but I think it's like 3.5. It's a pretty like interesting, but kind of like very kind of, I guess, soft movie. Like there's not that much going on for the movie, but yeah, it's pretty good. What else?
As I have really bad news.
Yeah, watch
Interstellar is only from the 6th to the 11th of December.
Wow.
Damn, I can't do that.
Wow. I can't do it either.
And like all the stuff is sold out already. This is so sad. I'm gonna have to drive to drive to San Francisco at 11:45.
Need to go back in time to Interstellar's release and watch it in IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, what is everyone's holiday movies to watch around the holidays?
Arthur Christmas.
I have literally already said all of mine.
Wait, you only said like 2.
I said Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Die Hard 2.
It always feels really sort of...
Okay, that basically is
Christmas Carol.
Okay, that's
I count movies that aren't necessarily... I count movies that aren't necessarily Christmassy, but I would feel like watching them. I know, I really feel like watching the Star Wars prequels around Christmas time. That just feels very Christmassy to me, watching Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I started Paul Blart Mall Cop again.
That's good.
Which is why I referenced it earlier. And that takes place on Black Friday, which I would call a Christmas adjacent holiday. So
The first Harry Potter, because they have a Christmas scene in the movie. I like doing that. Obviously, The Holdovers now is pretty good for that.
oh yeah, I am ready to do a Holdovers walkthrough again.
I like The Grinch. The Grinch is pretty good. Like the
Grinch
the
Christmas
one.
Eve every year, so good.
I like The Grinch. Nightmare Before Christmas. I watched Violent Night last year. That one was pretty fun. I kind of find Elf annoying now. I've seen that one too.
Yeah, and that's just Harold the Purple Crayon.
Yeah. Gremlins is a pretty good one. Oh, the Santa Claus. I love this.
I haven't seen Santa Claus in such a long time.
Isn't that the one where they literally kill Santa Claus and become Santa Claus?
Yeah. That's like my favorite one. It's so good.
Yeah.
It has the same rules as the other one. You become, when you kill the person who has it, you become Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's some good movies to watch around the holidays. Hollandaise. But
The Hollandaise.
yeah.
But let's get into the 3 major
I do
films.
have a movie that I watched, actually.
Ooh.
So I was on Disney Plus like 2 weeks ago,
Oh, he gets to talk about the bullying film.
Yeah. So I was looking on Disney Plus to like 2 weeks ago, and they're like, this movie called Out of My Mind, based on the book Out of My Mind. And I don't know if any of you guys have read this book, because it was like at one point required reading, I think, for one of my classes. But I had read it a couple times, and it's pretty good. The book is about a girl with cerebral palsy who switches from like the special ed class to the regular student classes like once a week. And it's about her doing that and being bullied for having cerebral palsy. And then I watched the movie. So the movie, the book has because she can't speak, a lot of it is her narration and like her in her head. And that's why it's called Out of My Mind, because then she gets a little like a speaking device that she can then speak.
Gets the device and she can like type the things out.
Yeah.
And then wait, does she have to like listen to like a children's speaking thing on loop?
At one point, she does, yeah.
Because I think I might have read this book then.
Okay, yeah.
Or at least the intro of it.
Well, she gets the speaking thing like halfway through.
Okay.
But a lot of the book is her narration and her inner monologue because she can't speak in her thoughts. So they don't really actually ever do that in this movie, which is kind of annoying because they do it a little bit. Because they have this thing where she's like, I wish my voice sounded like Jennifer Aniston, and it's Jennifer Aniston being the narrator. And then they never use it again besides the opening scene and whenever things, which is like something she does. Like it's like a character quirk. She just likes things.
Wait, is it
and
like
those are the only ever.
Is it a good adaptation or no?
It's good. Yeah. I mean, there's one problem that with the book that it stays with that's in this movie, but there's not really anything that's done about it. But basically in the movie, girl with cerebral palsy, her mom sucks. Honestly, her dad is really good except for like 2 scenes, but like her mom sucks. And does not listen to her at all. Every character in this movie besides her dad and the doctor lady suck. They're all terrible people. Everyone hates Melody. That's the main character. Her name is Melody.
Well, then I understand. Like a name like that, Melody.
Yeah. Not because they're ableist or anything.
No,
or not.
They just hate anyone named Melody.
Anyway, she has
Bring
cerebral
back
palsy.
Melody.
She's in the class. And then a doctor lady comes in. She's like, hey, you're clearly way more intelligent than everyone else here. You should be in the normal classes. And then she does the weekly normal classes and she makes a friend. Her name is Rose. And that's all good and dandy. And then she gets the speaking box after trials and tribulations, because there's a scene in the book and the movie where she has to like take a test, and it's like, all right, which of these 5 things is different? And it's like a tomato, a strawberry, a banana, a red balloon. And it's like, well, the banana's yellow, but you can't eat the balloon. And so she chooses the balloon because you can't eat a balloon. And then like, it's a trick question because she's clearly smarter than the test is treating her. So the test giver is like, she's stupid as shit. And like, that's a big
I've seen that before.
Yeah. It's everything is just like against her. Everyone hates her.
Like,
even when she gets her friend later in the movie, she's like, actually, I was only friends with you because my mom iPod.
that's why we're friends with Aiden, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
We're just waiting for Aiden to give us the iPods.
crazy ass line.
That's why you know
But-
it's dated, since we were talking about iPods.
Yeah, it was in like 2003.
Yeah.
There's
he needs to
one.
use AirPods now.
But at one point she like joins like the math league, and she's really good at it because she's smart. And at some point, because her whole class hates her and her teacher, they're all ableist. At some point, they're all at a breakfast together before their flight to the nationals or the finals. And
their flight starts leaving early, and then she's just not notified, and she's behind.
This girl can
And then she
take
needs to
any-
like build a bunch of traps
Everyone
in the
hates
airport
her.
to prevent invaders, right?
And basically what happens is that she like gets just really sad and like throws her talk box thing on the ground or whatever.
and she
She spills like water over it and ruins it just because she's like angry that like even with her being able to speak out, her voice is still silenced. That's something to do a lot, is that people speak over her even like when she's trying to speak or get their attention.
and
that's really
Nikola
cool.
would hate this girl.
He would
Yeah, I
hate this
absolutely
girl.
hate. Because I'm
But-
such, whatever. What do you call it?
An ableist.
Yeah.
But she throws her thing away, and everyone gets mad at her, and her mom has to go drive her to wherever she needs to go, and she doesn't have her thing. And her sister, who's like 3, escapes from the house, and her mom, it does not know it, and she runs her over. And I was praying that stayed in the movie, and it did, and I was very happy about it.
Oh my god!
Does she die?
No, she doesn't die.
Oh,
She does not die. She like breaks her arm and that's it. But the problem is this big emotional moment about like her not being able to speak out, then makes her like, she confronts her entire class and is like, hey guys, you are all ableist as shit.
How
She just
did
comes into
she
the
do
class.
that with the talk box?
She gets a new one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she just goes in and she has just like a 4-minute monologue. Sucks.
Where the mom sucks ass, or you guys?
No, like how all the kids in the class and like the teacher suck ass, and they fire the teacher, which is very funny because he was super ableist. But the thing is, the sister getting run over is like 5 minutes before the end of the movie.
And how is that in the book? Like halfway or like?
It's like also near the end of the movie. This is the one problem I had, is like that happens at the and that happens at the end of the movie, and it's kind of just like it leaves it at I don't know, a very abrupt ending.
Yeah.
Although a lot of the movie is just like, oh, she can't do thing because she's in a wheelchair and can't speak. Look at what bad things happen to her now. Like, it's just that repeated, and it kind of gets tedious, but it was good. It's still a good, I mean, it's good.
Yeah. It verges on being like a commentary or just like ableist porn at some point, because like it goes from those two places.
It gets really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But they did cast a girl who has cerebral palsy, so that was
That's good. Cool.
that's good that they did that.
I actually realized I have two more things on my singles I need to talk about.
Oh, bro, forgot.
And I brought the balloons. I forgot to talk about it last week, but I did want to talk. I watched a new part of Cobra Kai season 6.
Yeah.
I've been seeing random clips of it, and it looks really funny out of context.
Dude, no, it's like the thing is about Cobra Kai is like, I think it has like probably such a fall from grace from season 2. Like the first 2 seasons were like, they were cringy, obviously, since it is like a teen YA show. But they had some level of like coolness to the first 2 seasons. Like it's fresh. We're bringing back the Cobra Kai. This is probably one of the only sequel revivals that has worked well.
A legacy sequel.
Yeah, legacy that's worked well. It's insanely popular.
What about Beetlejuice?
No, I'm saying like TV shows.
Oh.
And so it's like, but then like the Netflix seasons, they've amplified the cringe and like sometimes they take it because like they take themselves way too seriously to a point where it's a joke.
Cobra Kai.
Where it's a joke, like.
Yeah.
Like they don't realize how stupid they're fucking being in the show, which makes it so much more cringy when you don't realize you're being cringy. And they say these things like so seriously. So finally we get to the fucking Takai that they're hyping up all parts season 1, and oh my god, like this thing, it's like, okay, it's interesting, like it's like an okay watch, like the part, it's like a fine like show, but it's like some of the moments are just like so like what the fuck? Like Kreese, dude, why are you caring about karate? You're like a fugitive. You should be like running away.
Yeah.
No, he has to go do the
wait,
karate.
he's technically a fugitive right now. He just like fled to Japan.
No, and they're like, and,
hunting for him.
and this is like his thing. Like they're never gonna. It's international waters. They're never gonna do an old. Like they're never gonna prosecute an old man who lost his mind or something like that. It's like that's the logic he's going with, and I guess fine. And then, dude, Daniel is like going on a fucking crisis about Mr. Miyagi. He's all like, wait, Mr. Miyagi, like,
It's not the Miyagi way. It's not the Miyagi
and
way.
he finds out that Miyagi like killed a guy in the Sakai tournament.
Wait, what the fuck?
Oh man.
You don't know. You don't know the Cobra Kai lore.
But
goes
it is
deep.
also a martial arts tournament. I'm pretty sure you sign a waiver so that legally it's okay if you die.
And they're like, it was a dark time in the Sakai period. And it's all like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh, guys, this show is so fucking serious. That's unserious. Like, it's fucking crazy. They're like people, they're like they're sleeping with karate enemies to attack each other. Like fucking Tori, she's joined it.
the emotional depth.
She's joined the evil Cobra Kai side. She doesn't know if she will join, and they do this thing ultimately. Cobra Miyagi, they're losing points, and then they're like, but then there's like, it turns out they've got the big two teams, like Cobra Kai Miyagi-Do, but then there's like a new third team, the Iron Dragons that put in the mix, and that's kind of interesting. But then like their sensei, guess who he's backed up by? Terry Silver, who was arrested at. He's fucking back.
They brought back Terry Silver again.
Like, and then there's a flashback where he talks to like a sensei, like I don't know, some sort of karate like dungeon or something. It was like a like underground karate or something. He's like, how about you join my side, dude? And he's like, okay. And so he's like another enemy. So we got the Johnny Kreese, Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do, and the Iron Dragons. And those are the three big teams. And we're seeing the fucking Shakespeare levels of like so many fucking interconnected like plot points. It's so insane. And then and then there's a tournament where eventually, guess what? There's it's eliminations. It's like, I think this is in the 9th episode. And it's like, there's one more final part, by the way, guys. One more final part.
I'm good.
I might just try to catch up for the final part. I feel like so much stuff's happening. It'd be fun.
So this is episode 9, and they're like, it's elimination tournament round, and then guess what, guys? Cobra Kai, they get eliminated, and they're gonna leave, and they're gonna leave the tournament. Obviously, right, guys? They're gonna leave. They're gonna get rid of the enemies for the show. I thought that could be a really interesting point where they ultimately, the Miyagi-Do has to fight the Iron Dragons. But of course they fucking don't, because guess what? Another team was cheating. So guess what? Cobra Kai gets to go back in. And they're disqualified. And then, guys, it becomes so fucking unserious. Where it's all like, there's like another like tournament like around or something, and then like the fucking guy from the team who was disqualified, like their sensei, he beats up the tournament host, and there's a karate riot.
No.
There's a karate riot, and guys, it's so fucking unserious. Where Johnny Kreese brings out a knife and he's gonna kill Terry Silver, but then when he goes to Terry Silver, he drops the knife, and it turns out he left it like where everyone was fighting, because everyone is fighting. Every single karate person is fighting. And then like one of the evil Cobra Kai karate students, he brings up the knife, and then one of the Iron Dragon members fights him, but then like he puts it back into himself, and the guy dies.
No, they kill another guy.
A kid dies. So presumably that's going to end the Sakai tournament part of because like I don't see how they continue past that death.
No, they'd be like, Mr. Miyagi would want the fight to go on.
You would want the
We
fight to
finish
go.
this here,
It's
and we finish
so
this now.
fucking-
The corpse is just Oscar.
That's so fucking serious. A kid fucking dies in this show. He gets stabbed. Maybe I assume he's probably going to like not die. I think he's probably going to hospital. I mean, a coma or something. But at least they leave it off like he's dead. But this show is so fucking serious. It's unserious. It's crazy.
It's always, okay, the thing with me is it's always so stupid when they like have a dude get like shot 3 times at the end of the episode and you're like, he's dead. And then the next one is like, miraculously, they're able to survive this 3 bullet wounds to the chest in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, that's why you don't like JoJo. I see.
Okay, well. But yeah, no, this show is like. But fun, it is a fun time just watching the shit out of it. Like, it's junk food content at its best. Yeah. And, okay, so this is another kind of cringy YA show, but it's better than, I think, most YA shows, but still has that, like, annoying sort of character arcs where I saw, like, one day I was perusing on Hulu, and I saw this show, because I got some ads for it. It's called Tell Me Lies. And it's this, essentially it's a show where it's all like it takes place against 2 timelines. It's like the future timeline where there's a wedding and there's some characters and they're like, you know, our main character Lucy's all like, you know, at the wedding they're like, you know, Steven's gonna come and like Steven and then it flashes back to her first year in college, baby, and like she meets her friends and her roommates and then you know she goes to a party where Steven's there. He's all like, he's trying to be a nice guy. And then like a few days later, her roommate dies in a car crash.
Oh,
And then there's like stuff revolving around that. You can probably, it's more interesting than it lets on, but there's like so much sex in this show. It's crazy. Like,
I love sex.
there's probably like 3 sex scenes at least every episode. It's such a sexual driven show. It's very YA, but it's a little better than your average YA where it's all like it has a little bit more interesting character work and story than your average, I think. They do some interesting things with the timeline because like most YA stories don't really have this sort of timeline type of thing where that's more interesting where you know stuff that you know in the present is probably going to affect the past. And so you're going to see how that story plays out. It's not the best show, but it's like there is something you could grip your teeth into that is more satisfying.
Rip your teeth into.
But those are the 2 shows I've been watching. Let's talk about the least controversial movie first. Moana 2.
I think we all agreed it was pretty mediocre, average.
Yeah.
I liked it.
What do you mean?
I mean,
Aiden?
yeah, I mean, we liked it.
It was
but
like I didn't really like it.
Aiden
Like,
is a whimsical, okay? He's very whimsical. Let him enjoy what he wants to enjoy.
Aiden, I said this to you. The fact that I was really sleepy during this movie and I still got the entire plot really said something about it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
also I can just enjoy the colors and the ocean characters. I can just have a good time.
Yeah, I mean, it was a Moana TV show turned into a movie.
That is what it
It
is.
was a theatrical quality on the big screen.
And,
Uh,
I felt like you also.
I
I could really
watched
tell.
more
I could really
episodes of
tell
Big
when
Hit.
it was going to be the episode breaks. Like I really
Yeah.
felt when the episode
yeah,
ended.
you could tell.
Yeah, but it was like fun. There's like it's not anywhere close to the original in any type of character work. Maui was a nothing character in this movie. It felt like
He kept trying to make that stupid catchphrase work, and it was so annoying.
Can I get a Chi-Hu?
Yeah, he just kept fucking saying that anytime he was on screen, and I'm like, fuck you.
Can I
bro.
get a Hawk too?
Yeah.
They did make a bit too many Hawk Tua jokes for my liking.
They didn't make enough.
Well, I guess Aiden's more a fan of them than me.
he watches Talk to every day.
I don't. Nikola does.
We know.
I actually do, yeah. That's a good podcast. Get the
But I did find it. I did find it was a fun movie.
It was fine, but Aiden. The character works. Yeah. No, that's a no. The character work is like nothing there. Like, oh, she has a sister. I don't give a shit about her sister. It was like fine. The final third act climax was not interesting at all.
You didn't like the big cloud?
No.
You didn't like the Thanos villain reveal setup?
No, that dumb setup for like.
But no, the villain was a nothing burger. I swear, it was a dude, and he was God of Storms, and we're like, they introduced literally this side villain. You're like, okay, they go free once the storm guy's dead. So once they break the storm, she's gonna come back and be the true final villain.
That was just you, Beck.
No, yeah. I
agree.
I agree.
They feel that they were going somewhere with that.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna do something, but like they're setting up for a third Moana. That I don't know, man. It's just it's just like kind of a really kind of bland nothing movie, which makes sense. It just comes from like a lower budget TV show, I assume.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like they could have done some more work. Where like I thought the idea of bringing back the different people of the ocean could be really interesting. Where I thought I wanted to see more ocean people, you know, like it didn't do enough of that.
Yeah, no, they only had one group of ocean people, and it was the coconut guys.
Because we already saw them in the first.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be better if they'd introduce like new people.
I thought this movie could work really well. This is how I would envision a Moana 2. Where it's all like, okay, we have these ocean peoples that she goes to like, how about it doesn't become an idea of separation. We could have like this villain who ultimately wants to stop them when they form together, but ultimately it becomes a personal issue where Moana has to bring the different ocean peoples together. And that could be a really interesting idea. But I don't know.
I feel like that might be 3 because like they finally connected, but the storm guy's still out there and he wants to separate them again. And she needs to bring all the people together.
And it just doesn't feel like heart-wrenching as like, because the idea of like the volcano was the green goddess thing. It was so impactful in the original. It's like, oh, she was this thing this whole time, and you get no sense of like sort of like this sort of emotional connection in this movie at all. But Aiden likes the colors, so woo!
And you agree the first one's better, right?
Yeah, the first one's by far better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that insane.
The next one, Gladiator 2.
So Nikola, about Gladiator 2, this is definitely a you and me movie where you would have loved this movie, Nikola.
Oh boy, love this movie.
Anyway,
it's like it's very sort of like Dune 2S, where it's like a very historical epic, and
except it's not super historical.
Yeah, it's obviously the Gladiator movies are not historical that much. Because like
you're telling me they didn't fill a coliseum with water.
You're telling me they didn't? They spoke English back then.
Okay, when they're like, what language do you speak? I speak my native language, and you're all speaking English. Oh, come.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they all sit down and then they read the newspaper, even though the printing press isn't invented for another 200 years.
I think the most solvent way to do this one is like we each say our thoughts about the movie, us three. I'll go first. Well, I think I've calmed down a little bit since watching this movie. I thought it was like, because like when I watched it, I was really drawn up by the spectacle of it. And I think
Bro watched it and he was like, this is the greatest movie ever made. He does with all of the films he watches.
I'm not you, Nikola. But I'm going to say I was really drawn by the spectacle of it. And because I think I'm a pretty good guy at following like pretty thick, convoluted plots. And this movie has like a pretty like it goes like pretty convoluted at some points. And I feel like I'm pretty good at like managing that. And so I felt like I could know the story really well. I said when I left the theater it was better than Gladiator 1. It's not. It's not by far close to Gladiator 1. Gladiator 1 is supremely better. It's like a much more direct, better villain, better like hero, where it's all like it almost is kind of like just a redoing of the first Gladiator, but just a little bit different, where it's all like you get to see like more, I guess more of like a rising, because like in the end of Gladiator 1, he dies. And but this one he ends up like being like almost championing, where we're definitely going to see like Ridley Scott's even talking about Gladiator 3. And so we're going to see how that plays out. But ultimately, I think I really liked a lot of the movie, but a lot of it is just kind of like the same as the first one, where it's like just him inspiring a group of people again, rising from like sort of the dirt. But yeah, and he's being made into a gladiator like his father. And they try to make it like seem like a reveal that he's like his father, that's his father, but it's like so obvious. And like I thought it was like I thought they put that shit in the trailers or something, because that's what I remember in the movie. Is making it seem like you can't be the son. I am the son. But yeah, I think. But I really liked a lot of the character performances of this movie, especially Denzel. He was the standout character in the movie because obviously,
By far.
I mean, it's fucking Denzel. He's a charm magnet. Any role he brings is going to have insane levels of charm.
He was really good in Game Night.
Funny joke. But no, he's like insanely good in the movie. He's like a very Littlefinger-y character in the movie. And he's like, it's just fun watching him. His plan doesn't make a lot of sense, where he ultimately just gets cut down by him in the end of the movie. It's like, what was your plan here? But a lot of the performances were really fun. I really liked the twin emperors, except I think they could have just been one character.
It could have been one character, yeah.
Yeah, but
it
the
could have
twins
just
are
been the insane
interesting.
one.
I think the twins were interesting. The fact that like one was like dumb evil and one was smart evil.
Yeah.
Where I think if it was one character, it'd just feel like the same as like the first movie, where it's like it was one emperor, where it's like now they have two of him. So
Yeah.
they brought back the only
Third one's got to have
the only character
three.
that comes back for the original was the mom, the queen.
Well, the son came back.
Well, he's not the same actor.
Yeah, but it's the son. He's still
It's the same
there.
character.
And I think I quite liked like sort of the last fight. I thought it was pretty cool. Their like sword fight, even though like there was like no thinking like Lucius wouldn't defeat Denzel's character. Like you would he's like old as fuck. But yeah. So I think I enjoyed it as much as you can sort of enjoy this type of movie. It's like a very like historical epic. I think if I watched this at home, I would probably be less into it. But really the spectacle of the cinema really, really brought me into the story. And I really enjoyed all those aspects of it. I do think it has its flaws. Maybe it's like, because guys, have you been hearing this thing about Ridley Scott's lazy directing? Where
They did. Napoleon, I heard, was not very good.
But the thing is, essentially, he wants to get everything done as fast as possible, where his cinematographer was calling him lazy because he has like 1,000 cameras trying to get every single shot, every angle he can possibly get, which sounds interesting, but then he also kind of like makes probably hellish in editing, where it's all like, when you just have like a few cameras,
I would quit.
Yeah. Where you have a few cameras, you know exactly what you want to take. And I think that's more powerful because like in his earlier movies, like he knew exactly what he wanted to take a shot of. And I think that's more powerful because when you know exactly what you take, what's your shot, it makes the movie more decisive and more clear what you want it to be about.
Yeah.
Whereas his cinematographer was calling him lazy. But, he's allowed to do that since he is Ridley Scott, one of the most powerful directors in Hollywood.
He did make the Alien movies.
When that was in like in more of his younger side, when he knew he didn't have all those extra cameras and all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's like I think it was good, but definitely sort of a bumpier ride than when I first left the theaters watching it. Beck.
I mean, I feel like all the stuff around it is pretty good. The acting's good. The fights are good. The effects look good. But just the plot did not get me engaged in it at all. I just was bored the entire time. It didn't feel like anything new. I could feel like the direction it was going the entire time. I just was not engaged in it at all.
Something I do really want to bring up because the Pedro Pascal's character just fucking baffles me in this movie, where it's all like I really did not know what they want him to be in this movie. Where like, they sort of build it up to be like a villain in the first part, but then like maybe a hero, because like I guess because we're saying it from the other side that maybe because in the first movie the Roman general is our main character, so we see him as a hero, but since we're seeing him from a different perspective, he's always like a villain. Maybe it's a twist on that, but then they also try to make him a hero, but they don't have enough footage scenes of him in the movie to decide on either portion for that.
He does just kind of die without having done anything.
And
Like, I don't know. Here, I'll get into what. So this movie is shot good, lighting great. I guess sound good, look good, acting great, all that good, normal, good stuff. The plot is a bit bumpy, I think. There's a lot of just plot holes, I think. Like, if your goal was to kill the emperor, there were at least 17 different times you could have just done it. Like, you're sitting in a high rise by yourself with both of them, and you're two people that can get incredibly
Go
close.
after the general and not the emperors, because like the general was just going off what the emperor said, you know? It's like,
The general wanted to overthrow them also.
No, like the main guy. The main guy wants to kill the general.
Yeah.
and he doesn't care about the emperors, which are the ones that are literally ordering him to go.
No, but I'm saying the general and the mom are both sitting in a high rise with both of them, and they could just push them. There's so many times when they're just standing next to the edge, like when they're doing this thing. Push them. Just do it. It's so easy. And I don't think there's enough that happens in the Colosseum, and not enough that's interesting enough to happen in the Colosseum. Like, they fight a monkey, they're in a boat, and then then there's a lot of arrows, I guess. Like, it's all good, but that needed to be more exciting.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that I am so confused by, and it has not left my mind since. Whenever the mom has to go do something secret, she goes to her secret place where she pushes a block into the wall, and then it's a sliding door. How did you invent that in that time?
And there's a guy who's just pulling it back and forth. He's pulling it back, he's pushing it forward.
And
When
I
she
don't know,
pushes the block in,
hey, they actually ancient Rome. That's like they're like good at building shit.
they can build a highly technical automatic opening door.
Yeah.
How?
Really?
Okay, great. Anyway, Nikola, did you read my review? Because none of them like it.
Review of what?
Of Gladiator 2 that I put on Letterboxd.
I liked when you put it twice.
Nicola, read out for us.
Yeah,
I'll
please.
read it out for you guys.
Because they don't seem to appreciate
I
my review for
appreciate
Gladiator 2.
Secretly obsessed with Lotto.
That's Moana.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Sorry, it was Ariana Grande kind of slayed as a Galinda.
That's wicked.
Oh, that's my bad. It has to be this one then.
That's
When watching in 3D, you think two things. First, thought how.
Nicola,
My bad. Oh,
Hey,
this is
now
the
that
one.
you
This is the one.
reviewed Gladiator 2, we
Oh,
can't
it's this one.
find
This
it.
is my favorite movie.
okay, back.
How about this one? This is my favorite movie. I rewatched it again, but this time watched the 35 millimeter
This
version
is
of the film.
Roger
And let me
Rabbit.
tell you, it
Please-
looked better.
Let me read my Gladiator
Fine.
2.
Deep in the woods, sometime in the 19th century, lived a village. A village isn't alive. How does it live?
Shut up, okay?
For decades, the villagers lived in harmony.
This is why you don't ask Nikola to read it out.
The villagers lived in harmony with the village until Heidi moved in.
There's a
Everyone
lot of
hated
grammar
Heidi.
mistakes.
I don't
She was a
care.
rude, narcissistic person with no regard for anyone else's emotion or well-being. She even kicked a puppy once. One day, the village decided that enough was enough. Though careful at deliberation, the punishment for Heidi's action was to be fed to the town's cannibal. After about 20 minutes in the cell with him, She was dead and eaten. A few days passed, and the village's morals were higher than ever. Two men were enjoying the peace and quiet without her raging and ranting and turned to each other and said, "It's so nice to not have Heidi in this small town of ours. I'm very happy in the decision to have her fight to the town cannibal." The second man replied to saying, "Yeah, I'm Gladiator too."
What does that mean? I'm Gladiator II.
I'm glad he ate her too.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
How do you not get that?
That's why he didn't appreciate it, because he didn't understand it, because he's stupid.
Thinking.
Come on, man. It's pretty good. It's pretty
You
fire.
probably stole that
Fucking
offline,
dumbass.
Aiden, I assume.
I didn't actually. Actually, in the last 20 minutes of the movie, I got really bored because nothing was happening that was interesting enough.
Aiden,
And I thought of it and I said, wow, that's really funny.
how
I
does-
should do that. And then I did that.
Yeah.
Wicked. Wicked.
Let's talk about
Wicked.
Wicked. I think this was the best of the three.
Yeah.
I would say I agree.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Wicked. So, Nikola, you know the story of Wicked, obviously, right?
Yeah, everyone knows the story of Wicked.
Aiden,
I don't know the story of Wicked.
Fucking
then
loser.
I did not know the story of
So,
Wicked.
guys, I researched the history. It's based off the movie and the original book. It's a book. It's a musical. It's a movie.
No,
It's a movie.
I got this. I got
What's
this.
the order,
Movie,
please?
movie based on a musical, based on a book, based on a movie, based on a book.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to say, Uri.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 times removed from its original, which is very funny.
Essentially, it tells a story of the Wicked Witch. As we get perspective on her that we don't usually get in the main Oz stories.
True.
And the movie starts off with the Wicked Witch is dead, and everyone's glad she's dead. And Glinda comes down, and she's like, a person was all like, "You were friends with her, yes?" And I was like, and she was like, "A long time ago." And then the movie's this first part, which is part 1, it's a flashback to her time with the Wicked Witch, but I'll let someone else continue the plot.
That's at the school of shiz, either shit or riz shit riz. They roomed together because she's green for some reason, and her
Because
sister,
her mom was drinking the green elixir.
yeah, and her
Get drunk.
sister's in a wheelchair, and there's some other characters. There's the hot guy. There's the not hot guy. There's Galinda. There's the goat. That's really all we need. And then they do things at the school until she goes to the Emerald City with Galinda.
No, and then they kill the goat.
They do take the goat. The government steals the goat
So
because
first,
he could speak.
Elphaba and Galinda, they're not friends.
They're not friends, but then they become friends.
Yeah.
And because they dance together in an emotional.
And a hot guy falls in love with Glinda, but then also falls in love with Elphaba.
I don't think he's in love with
True.
Galinda. He's just with Elphaba, but he's like sort of pretending to be with Galinda, I think.
Well, I mean, I feel like he was definitely in love with Glinda for the first part.
And then they did the thing with the lion. And
The cowardly lion. Wow. Okay, but they get to the Emerald City and they find out the Wizard of Oz, he's evil and he's he's like stealing all the animals because he needs everyone to hate the animals so he stays in power. And then Elphaba's like, that's bad. I'm going to steal your magic book that makes me all powerful. And then I'm going to run away.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's when we say it out like this, the movie's incredibly thin, but it's the song that's sort of like the highlights of the
Yeah.
movie, and that kind
because
of
it's a musical. That's how musicals work.
Yeah, and they
But
really
even when it's not musical, it's still good.
pretty
The acting
good.
is great. Yeah,
the Ariana
music's
Grande
great.
really pulled it off.
Oh yeah, like I think everyone has doubts about it. Like I think my sister and my mom both want to see the movie, but are wavering because of Ariana Grande. But I assured them that she actually slays in the movie, and then it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it works. It's a pretty good the songs work pretty well. None of them were like particularly really that memorable for me because I'm not the biggest musical guy. But I don't know what songs you like.
I like musicals, but I don't think I'll listen to the soundtrack unless I actually the original and hear the original music.
because I don't want to like get attached to like the maybe potentially worse versions of the song.
Yeah. Like
I have like 3 of them saved. I have the loathing one. I have the one where
sounds
hot
good.
guys dancing in the library, and I have Defying Gravity.
Defying
I
Gravity.
think all 3 of them
Sorry,
are
guys,
really
this is
good.
a hot take. Defying Gravity isn't that good.
I really like Defying Gravity. I think the movie version isn't as good as the musical one because I listened to the musical one, but I think it's still the best scene of the movie, and I really liked it.
It is a very impactful scene and a very good song in the context, but I don't think I'll ever listen outside of.
Maybe you just need to listen to the musical version.
Maybe that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I should.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen to the musical version and get back to me.
Yeah, but
But
overall, movie was
it's pretty
pretty
good
good.
movie. There's not much to say except that I'm annoyed. Kind of, I'm glad it's thinking like part 2 will come out like in 2025. But I would have.
Oh, is it next year?
Yeah, I think it's next year. But I would have looked at it. Like I would have liked to see part 2 released sooner because like I'm more. It got me pretty excited for the second part. So
Part 2 is I think part 2 is mostly just going to be the original.
Yeah.
But from Alphaba's perspective.
Yeah.
Which
For
is like
me, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it needs a part 2. I mean,
But there
think-
is more
there
story.
is more of it, but I feel like
with
if
which
it
is
were to
dead.
end here, if it were to end here, you could kind of just like fill in the gaps. I
No,
like
you can't.
the minor things.
Beck, why does she melt in water?
Because she's
Something
allergic to water.
happened.
Yeah, something happened. We don't know what
Maybe
happened.
she was just
There's-
born that
It's
way.
not like a
Maybe you should
major
stop
thing
being-
we need
maybe
to
you're
know.
being ableist, Aiden. Ever thought
No,
about
because
that?
she gets rain on her and she's fine.
Yeah, maybe you're just ableist. Ever thought about
could
that?
see
but
Like,
that's
that's
like
more
a
to the
minor
movie.
thing.
Like I could see that happening like an origin story if you cut out the first part where they say the witch is dead.
Yeah.
Because we need to tie back to the end of that part.
Yeah.
But if it just like you get it
I
as
also
it
thought it
is-
was funny how it's like, let's tell you the whole story. Part 1.
Yeah.
But no, it's like a really kind of like wonderful movie. And I'm hearing like, I mean, from some articles, but I don't trust it, but I think it might win like costume, like award, something like
I
that.
see a costume.
I'm hearing like random buzz best picture. I think maybe a nomination for best picture, but not.
Not a best picture.
I don't.
Definitely not a
Musicals
best.
don't really get Best Picture.
I know it's like commercially like really big, but I'm saying like maybe the last time a commercial movie got like did really well with the Oscars was The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. That was like in
What
2000.
do we think the nominations are going to be this year?
We did that last
We
week.
did that
Oh, well,
last
guess what? I
episode.
wasn't here last week.
Get caught up, idiot.
Well, you shouldn't have been traveling, Nikola.
Yeah.
And
You shouldn't have been
that
treating your
ends-
vacation like a
All
vacation.
right. I guess in conclusion, Dune 2 is going to be winning Best Picture.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
What's going to
In
be it then?
conclusion, watch the original Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
Thanks
that-
for using Celsius. We'll
Yeah.
see you
Wait,
later.
Watch the
Wait.
James Franco Oz movie. No one remembers it.
That one is good. I like that one a lot. I think that one's really good. Except for
Watch
the fact
the
that James
TV
Franco's in
show
it.
Oz, which is about Oz.
Or don't do that. Read the book series Dorothy Must Die. I read that series.
Watch-
It actually kind of sucks. I don't know why I read so much of it.
Watch the Amazon Prime TV show Lost in Oz. I watched that and I remember it being good.
Watch The Lighthouse with your best
Watch
friends.
the
Watch-
HBO Max series Oz. It's not going to be a...
Watch.
No, that's not what I said, Eric.
Watch.
Go and kick your mother in the balls.
Watch Muppets Wizard of Oz. We'll end it there.
Always
that's
use
the
Celsius.
episode.
Thanks for
Always
listening.
use
Lot of
Celsius.
Oz's.
And goodbye.
Do it all.